here and participate in these discussions. Hopefully we can gain something useful in our solidarity works in the coming years. And also, particularly, I would like to express my gratitude to RSP, Revolutionary Socialist Party Australia, and also Direct Action for having me here and give opportunity to sharing what happened in Indonesia today and what are the challenges faced by the left, and also what's the immediate agenda and situations facing by the people, particularly after the crisis. Yeah, I hope I will not repeat what Sam has already told. So basically, I will give a hopefully short some background around how Indonesian's economic situation today, and also about what actually the program that we fighting for, an objective of our struggle in Indonesia in a given situation, and also the challenge that are facing people movements today, and also about the consolidation of the left, the fractures, and also the rebuilding of the left today. Hopefully I can make it shorter. Indonesian situations, long before the financial crisis erupted in 2008, year by year Indonesia's industrial capacity was being destroyed. The outlays for improving the forces of production are lower than Bangladesh. The outlays for training and improving human resources are above $1 per capita US dollar, while in Indonesia it's less than $1 US, so we are below Bangladesh. As for February 2009, as many as 55.43 million people, or 53.5% of Indonesian workforce, only had a primary school education. Investment, whether it be in the form of trade, industry, or even services, is increasingly directed both in the private as well as government sector towards facilitating the flow of foreign capital. Foreign capital controls more than 85% of oil and gas exploration activities, 75% of all direct investment activities, almost 50% of the banking industry assets, almost 70% of the capital market, and control of 173 million hectares of land for the exploitation of oil, coal, and minerals, along with plantation and forestry. Out of the 135 state-owned industries, only 69 now remain under government ownership. And by 2015, only 25 state-owned industry will be left. The legal education entity law also allows foreign capital to control as much as 40% of the higher education sector. Workers' real wages have declined by almost 50% since 1997. The 228 billion rupiah received by the poor in the form of direct cash assistance program, or BLT, and also 11.2 trillion rupiah in school operational assistance funds, or we call it BOS, and the 4.3 trillion rupiah for the health insurance for the poor, or welfare cards for poor, we call it GAKIN, have to be fought for over by 140 million people, those with an income of less than $2 a day. This is not to mention other problems such as the extraordinary difficulty, requirement and bureaucracy, inadequate funds, and corruption. According to Indonesian Corruption Watch, or ICW, corruption in the healthcare sector has now reached a massive 127 billion rupiah a year. In 2008, a Joint World Food Programme, or UNICEF, research project on food security found the rural poor suffer more than the urban poor in Indonesia. Some 41% of households surveyed no longer work in their own farms, but instead toiled as a wage laborers and were dependent on food purchases from local markets. In 2009, early findings show they are eating cheaper, lower quality goods, relying on relatives and friends for additional money to buy food, buying non-food items on credit, or reducing health expenses. School abstention is also being monitored. Dismissals, particularly of contract and temporary workers, according to the Indonesian Legal Aid Institute, reached 3 million people in 2008. This was followed by the national automotive industry, where 20% of the workforce has been dismissed. However, according to official figures by the Manpower and Transmigration Ministry, only 51,000 workers have been laid off this year. Yet the number of dismissal in Jakarta alone since March 2009 has already reached 200,000 people. The foreign debt, which has been a big issue in these presidential elections, is also increasing rapidly from 1.275 thousand trillion rupiah in 2004 to 1,667 trillion in 2009. So as much as 130 US dollar million in debt will fall due in 2009, this year. Well, not long ago, ADB or Asia Development Bank, also Agency Française Development, it's French Development Bank, also disbursed loans of $200 million and ADB for $1.5 billion. So more debt for development. So this is a situation that we should face today, and also should force to handle to the people. In this situation, there is no other way to handle or to overcome all of this misery, except rather than fight or struggle against these situations, against what's the fundamental reason why this can be happened. It is imperialism. It is that today's popularly discussed in Indonesian movement and presidential candidate also is about neoliberalism. So this is the main systematically problem that we should resist. So that's why an issue of socialism also raised by the most of the movement, especially the left, to having in a given situation we have change or momentum to give the answer to the people about socialism. What is socialism? Especially after there is a living example of socialism in 21st century in Venezuela and Cuba. So I will not talk